Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. This video we're going to be going over Prot Pally in PvP, Battleground Explained, going over talents, abilities, rotation, defensives, and just kind of playstyle. Starting out, I always take Holy Shield just because it does extra damage, makes you block spells, which is really nice, and also increases your block chance by 15%. Other than that, you're probably going to want to take Redoubt, but it just increases block but doesn't let you block spells. The whole reason I use this is for the extra damage and spell block. For the 30 row, I always take Crusader Judgment because it grants 2 charges of Judgment, which does a ton of damage. If you don't take this, you're probably going to want to take First Avenger, which will increase the damage of your Avenger Shield by 50%, which will make it hit about as hard as a Judgment. So I'd rather just take the Crusader's Judgment, but it's your choice there. For the 45 row, any of these will work. I take this for the stun reduction. You can take this for the Incapacitate if you're doing Arena, or you can take the Blind if you want to blind for some reason. For the 60 row, you're going to take Blessing of Spell Warding pretty much because it makes you immune, gives you another, pretty much another bubble, but it replaces your bomb, so that's one thing to keep in mind. I don't think it can be Spell Stolen, but I could be wrong. For the 75 row, I take Hand of the Protector. The only difference between this and the heal you already have is the fact that you can cast it on an ally. I think this is really handy when it comes to just off-healing, especially in Arena, and that's why I take it. For this row, Judgment of Light. You can also take Consecrated Ground, which will, like, slow people. And I'll kind of get into the rotation here. So main thing you want to do, watch out for Lightning Lasso. I don't like this guy so far, so I'm going to go on him. You want to maintain your Shield of the Righteous, like, most of the time, because that's not most of your damage, but it's a lot of block. Should probably heal someone. So we're going to watch this guy's health. We'll throw him a Blessing just because he's kind of getting focused. And that Blessing will make him immune to pretty much all damage, which is a lifesaver when you're a healer. And your rotation pretty much for damage is Judgment. Just Judgment on a cooldown, Avenger Shield on cooldown. One thing to note is that with a certain honor talent, your Avenger Shield will silence someone, so that's something to keep in mind. I should probably switch off of the Fury, because if you hit a Fury, you're not really going to accomplish much. I mean, you might kill them eventually, but they have a lot of self-heals. And the whole playstyle of Prod is like you kind of just wear them down over time. At least that's what I think. And then you can also focus healers, like you're just the healer's worst nightmare, because you have a lot of CC. You have this Silence, which I'll throw on him once he tries to cast again. You have pretty much just ranged attacks as well, coming from your Judgments. And your Judgment also reduces the cooldown of your Shield of the Righteous. Your Shield of the Righteous reduces the cooldown of your Avenging Wrath, which increases your damage, crit chance, and something else, and healing by 20% for 20 seconds. You see I just use Avenging Wrath, but it's already back up. You'll see my Judgments hit for about 6,000, which is pretty significant. It's pretty much hitting as much as, like, DPS abilities as a DPS. So that's the main reason I like Prot. If Prot ever gets nerfed in, like, the damage area, it's probably not going to be as great, but it's still really, really, really good utility. Especially in Arena. Like, you can just off-heal. You're pretty much a really tanky healer that runs around. And if they focus you, I mean, they can't really kill you because you have so many defensives, and they focus your teammate, you just heal your teammate with Flash of Light and Hand of the Protector. They're pretty much good to go. Going back into talents, this is what I was talking about, reduces the cooldown. Shield of the Righteous reduces the remaining cooldown on Light of the Protector, which is your heal, and also your Avenging Wrath. So ideally, you want to use your Shield of the Righteous whenever you have just a lot of people on you and you need the block chance, or when you need to reduce cooldown on your heal or Avenging Wrath. That's ideally the situation, but of course, especially in PvP, that situation's not really going to be very clear in the moment, and you're just going to have to adapt to what happens. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. You pretty much play like a healer that just does DPS. I mean, you do decent DPS. Your healing, it will be notable. I've been practicing Prot for a while now, because I just don't like Ret. I mean, there's a lot of Ret Pallys out there. There's Quinn69, Savix, like probably other people that I don't even know about, but those are 2 off the top of my head. I play Prot now, because it's like tank a little bit less damage, a lot more utility, a lot more 1v1 potential, and I've always liked Prot in general. We'll use cooldowns here. We'll see if we can throw this guy Saucy Hand of the Protector. 41,000, not bad. Gonna use my Shield of the Righteous just to gain some cooldown reduction. Of course that happens. As soon as I use my cooldowns. You'll see my Judgments just hit for like 7,000, which pretty much is like, it's pretty hard for tank ability. If Blizzard ever takes note of like how hard Prot Pallys actually hit, I'm sure they'll get nerfed, but as long as we don't talk about that much, then we're less likely to get nerfed. They're also, from what I've heard, like I just tuned into some random stream, they're also apparently the worst PvE tank right now, so they're probably just going to be strong in PvP. However, that might change in the next patch or whatever. Going over another ability, Seraphim pretty much increases all of your secondary stats. I think it's 8 seconds. Consumes up to 2... Stop. Consumes up to 2 shields of the Righteous charges, last 8 seconds per charge. So let's say 16-second buff for... I don't know how much of a damage increase, but a decent damage increase. The reason it's so good is because your mastery directly affects your attack power affects your damage. So whenever you throw Seraphim up, you pretty much get haste versatility, which is a damage increase, mastery, which is an attack power increase, haste, which is reduced, I guess, time between abilities, and then there's one more stat, crit, which, I mean, will increase the crit of your judgment, but, and your normal heals, but, yeah, that's about it. I mean, Last Defender's okay if you have a ton of people around you, but really, I don't ever go out of Righteous Protector just because it's so good on reducing cooldown of your Avenging Wrath and your heal. So, that's something to keep in mind. If only I could trinket. And this is where I'll kind of showcase the heals, because I don't think there's a healer near us. So, we'll showcase some utility. We'll throw that Blessing of Protection on that guy. We'll hit the Fury for, I don't know, 11,000, however much that hits for. And we got the objective. There's another healer. Probably going to go on the healer. Use my silence. Oh, I should go over 100 talents as well. Traits, I have no fucking clue. Whatever traits seem good to you. Most of the time, whenever I play tank, it's mostly in, like, Battlegrounds. And I don't have tank-specific traits. Most of the time, I'll just have, like, the trait that works for every spec. Unless it's a really good tank trait, which... just wing it. Like, do research. See which tank traits are the best. Not sure for, you know, PvP, but... right now I'm using this, which just gives me mastery, and mastery increases attack power. I have this, which grabs me a absorb whenever I use Avenger Shield. And then I have this, which just gives me strength and max health. So, those are my traits. Going over honor talents as well, I suppose. As we slowly keyboard turn. Judgments of the Pure, I take it just because it's extra healing. Whenever you judgment, and you're judgmenting a lot, and it's pretty much just like... it's like a shittier Holy Light whenever you just do damage, so that's how I think about it. Guardian of Forgotten Kings is another bubble, another immunity spell that you can cast on a friendly target, so pretty much you have 3 of those counting your own bubble. But, yeah, throw it on someone, they'll be immune to damage. 3-minute cooldown, same cooldown as, I believe, your Blessing of Spell Warding, so really nice. And then here's the silence that I was talking about. When activated, your next Avenger's Shield will interrupt the target, and silence all enemies within 8 yards for the target. 45-second cooldown. So, something to keep in mind. Rotation, for the most part. Consecration reduces the damage you take, so if you're getting focused, you're going to want to stand in that. However, most times, I don't even, like, try to stand in my Consecration. I'll throw it down if I have literally nothing else to press, but most of the time, people are focusing me, or, you know, usual shenanigans. We'll use cooldowns here. By cooldowns, I mean Avenging Wrath, and hopefully we'll get a big crit. I'm going to trinket that, because I just use abilities. 2,000 through Dispersion. We'll see how hard another Judgment will hit after. 7,000, not bad. The one thing I don't really like about Prod is that we don't have any slows if you're not going into the Consecration talent. But, you know, if someone's focusing you, you'll eventually catch up to them. And this is where the Judgment thing comes in handy, because it just heals you most of the time. And... yeah, I suppose that's it for Prot Pally. Just keep track of your health. Your defensives, for the most part, are Ardent Defender and Bubble, and your Hand of Protector. Hand of Protector, it should be noted that the healing is increased the more health you're missing, so that's something to keep in mind. You definitely don't want to get silenced. I'm going to use Lay on Hands here, just because. There's a stun. We'll get a Shield of the Righteous up. Oh my god, can I move? There we go. Use that. We still have an immunity spell, so I'm going to use another Shield of the Righteous. Shouldn't be hitting the Thorns because that dick slaps me. Use that immunity spell. Going to be using my Shield of the Righteous to reduce the cooldown of my heal. Use it again. At half health. Didn't die. So, that's kind of general. If you want to be annoying and just never die, the only 2 abilities you have to, like, for self-survival, well, 3. Freedom. Divine Steed, that's just to get away. Like, if you really need to get away, then go for it. Ardent Defender reduces all damage you take. Would also bring you back to life at 20% health. Most of the time I don't use it when I'm really low on health, even though I should. I most of the time just use it for the damage reduction, so... admittedly, you probably want to use that as a last resort, but I like just the 20% damage reduction. Guardian of the Forgotten Queen makes you immune. Pretty much another bubble. I believe doesn't cause for Barons, so that's something to keep in mind. And, of course, Bubble, and Blessing of Spell Warding, which is pretty much another bubble. So you have 3 bubbles as a Proud Pally. So, yep. If you guys like the video, like, comment, subscribe, description. Bell thing, as always, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys some other time.